Alright, it's 10 April. I'm just going to get an update on all these bamboos. Here's a dendrocalamus asper hitam. And I actually took off a shoot division off of this guy 2 days ago. And it looks like after taking all the energy away, these guys have probably doubled up in length. And also towards the base. It's pretty hard to see right here, but I guess I can kind of see it. There's actually another shoot trying to come out there too, so it seems like these guys can shoot pretty well. And this guy's actually still white because it just barely came out of the soil yesterday. So it's still trying to adjust to the light. Well, this guy is kind of greenish because it's already been out since yesterday. But yeah, once I actually take off a shoot, these guys can replace the shoots pretty quickly. And it's possible once these guys get a lot bigger, once they're probably up to about a foot in height or more, and harden off a little bit, I could probably take these off to divide too. But I think one of the reasons why I can get so much shooting is because all these apical ends have kind of stopped when I took this entire division about right around a month ago. So it has leaves, but all the energy is going down to trying to make shoots, which is perfect. And here's the actual division. Just a couple days ago when I took it, it was showing signs of curling quite a bit. But since yesterday I've had it on complete daylight and it's shown no signs of stress. This guy may have fried a little bit, but I have this section right here which is green and it's grown a little bit higher, so that means it's growing really well and its root system is doing great. And most likely, well, this 1, 2, 3, these 3 nodes will most likely make some branches too. So that's how easy it is to simply take a bamboo shoot. You gotta make sure it has plenty of roots and it's fairly hardened off, and it can actually make a pretty good division as long as it's surgically removed without breaking any of the roots off of it. So I simply take the entire thing out of the soil and I surgically remove it as to not disturb anything at all. And you'll still get a little bit of stress, but as you see, it's a really good one shoot division. Takes really little energy. It seems like it's a little bit complex, but when you take it, it's one of the easiest ways to get divisions. And I'm going to move on to the mother plant, the mother dendrocalamus asper hitam. And I planted this one about 3 weeks ago, shortly after I took off that nice division. And its new shoot, well, right now it's already leafing out really well. Its branches are fairly grown all the way, and in another couple more weeks it should be nice and bushy just like the other one. And it's really hard to see, but it's actually hard to get up on the hill. But at the base, it has really low branches and it's really hard to hold the camera and also dig in here on the slope, but it also has a small shoot on it already. This low branch right here, I'm actually trying to air layer this guy too, because I have this bag under there. And in another week or so, if it hardens off well enough and it roots, I could probably take this off for a nice division too. But the way I can kind of tell if it's possible is I'll look on the base to see if there's any root buds at the base of the branch. And the lower the branch is, and especially if it's under soil, a lot of times it can actually take. But as you see, I try to water this just about every day, And the more water it gets, plus the more sun it gets, especially being nice and warm in Hawaii, it should be able to get up in size really quickly. And I also use these plastic bags right here to kill off all the surrounding trees and stuff to make sure they don't compete for water and shade. Making sure that this bamboo gets as much sunlight and as much water as possible without any competition. So possibly in a year or so. Like this guy, this is just a regular green dendrocalamus asper. And I have to literally back up all the way just to be able to get these new shoots in the picture. I think the one behind is probably over 13 feet by now. The one that's right in front here looks like it's right around 13. It's definitely around 13 feet because I myself, I'm 6 feet tall. And looking at where my head goes, it's definitely well more than double my height. So yeah, it's definitely pretty awesome. There's also another one back there right by the papaya tree. Pretty hard to see, but it's right around 9 feet. And its previous growth, this is a cone from before, it's actually pretty tall. Like it basically got to about 12 feet. But it's really skinny. Whereas the new growth is real thick. Because you can kind of tell the latest growth, even the absolute latest one from before, it didn't really get any more than 3/4 of an inch in diameter. It was really skinny. That's everything from last year. But then you zoom over here, and here's this year's. And you can kind of tell the difference between the diameters. There's a massive difference in diameter. Well, this guy, it's probably close to 1.5 inches, probably 1.75 inches. Yeah, I think it's probably closer to 1.75 inches in diameter. It's definitely bigger than a broomstick. And it's growing super thick. While the other ones, they tape off really quickly. So even though this column is up to about 12 feet and it's basically stretched out all the way, this guy is around 13 feet and it's still growing, so I'm expecting both of these guys to end up right around 15 to 20 feet because they're nowhere close to being done. Because these sheets are still on, and you can tell, I think right around there, it's right around 9 feet-ish or so. That little growth. New shoot is definitely still very thick right at the 9-foot mark, which means it can still grow several more feet. But you can also tell the average internode length. These nodes are definitely way more than a foot long. Definitely going toward the sky. But it's definitely one of the funnest parts of growing bamboo is seeing how much bigger they get. And the fewer shoots you get, the more energy you have. Here's the other one. Towards the base, it's also starting to make branches, but it's not a big issue because these 3 new ones definitely gonna tower above anything else that's already grown. They also have a nice fine brown layer of hair on it, so also looks pretty cool. But yeah, as far as this year, there's a pretty good new standard as far as the size of these shoots. So I'm gonna assume in another year it's probably gonna make 3-inch size combs or bigger.